to buy or sell your home this spring, or maybe you're just curious, my next guest has got you covered. Please welcome real estate broker Jayden Kennedy. Hey, Jayden! How's it going?
I'm doing great. The crowd is amazing.
Oh, we here at The Good Stuff have the best crowd. We love them so much. All right, Jayden, I'm really excited because you've got some really great tips for buyers and sellers today.
Yes.
But let's start off with your two biggest tips for buyers.
Yeah, so tip number one is going to be to get pre-approved. There's a lot of people who are really excited to get into the market, but they don't know their budget yet. And then once they get their budget, they're a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
So number one, always know what your budget is.
Yes.
And then number two is run your numbers, because your pre-approval, it tells you your max purchase price, not necessarily what you can afford.
Okay.
So I always recommend to my clients to come up with a budget list, which they're probably going to show on the TV here. In addition to just making sure that your lifestyle will be able to remain the same, because a mortgage is a very big expense.
Yes.
So if you like to, do food delivery, go to the movies, go on vacation, make sure that your budget will enable you to do that in the future.
That's the thing. Like, maybe you can afford the house, but can you still afford to live the life that you live outside of the house?
Exactly. And you've worked your whole lifetime to save up for this property, and unfortunately, some people haven't been budgeting, and they're losing their property. So you have to run your numbers on the front end to make sure that you're able to stay afloat on the back end.
That's completely makes sense. And I love the fact that you say get pre-approved, so you actually know what your range is.
Yes, and I would say on that topic, there's a pre-approval and then there's a pre-qualification. So if you go to a mortgage professional and you just verbally tell them your information, that's going to be a pre-qualification. But a pre-approval is they ask for your tax payments, your pay stubs, etc., to give you a legit number.
That's the one that actually requires some work on your end.
Yes,
like on my end.
Exactly.
All right, now your second tip for buyers is to move quickly and offer strategically. What do you mean by those?
So in the spring market, a lot of things are happening, and a lot of savvy buyers are moving quickly, which means a property hits the market. Some properties right now are selling in one day.
Wow.
So I always recommend to my buyers to best prepare themselves. If a property hits the market that you like, try to see the property within 1 or 2 days, because if you don't, you might miss out on the opportunity to purchase the property.
Totally.
So that would be number one. Number two is sellers want the most attractive offers. And in order to make your offer attractive, you want to give yourself the least amount of, opportunities to back out of the deal. For example, if you put a home inspection stipulation in the agreement, which by the way, home inspections, you want to make sure that the foundation is good, the roof, the windows, all of those big expenses. And then you have to take that into consideration too for your budget.
Totally.
But if you want to be proactive and make your offer more attractive, you can actually do a home inspection before offer day. It's going to cost you between $400 to $500 plus HST, but it'll give you peace of mind and enable you to understand what you're getting yourself into. Because I'm sure, as you know, during COVID, the market was super hot. People were foregoing home inspections and then moving into the properties, figuring out there's leaks, there's foundation issues, roof issues, etc. So by being proactive, both with your pre-approval and with a home inspection, it could definitely save you a lot of money.
I think it would also show the seller that you are serious about that house if you are going ahead and getting that home inspection.
100%. And even a pre-approval, I always recommend bringing the pre-approval to the offer table, because if we're competing against another buyer and they don't have a pre-approval, it shows that we're more serious and most likely more qualified, which will encourage the seller to take our offer over the other one.
Okay, fantastic. Now, speaking of sellers, you've got a couple of really great tips for sellers as well. So first up, you wanted to talk about kind of boosting your home's appeal.
Yes, 100%. So the way that you can boost your home appeal, number one, we want to do budget friendly, okay? We're doing budget friendly here, you guys.
Love this.
Number one is a fresh coat of paint. That can go a long way, especially if you have pets or there's wear and tear on the property. That will do a great way of sort of reducing all of the wear that's on the property. Number two, changing all of your light fixtures and door handles. That can really modernize the space. And then even if you want to paint a couple of cabinets, we did a renovation for my client's kitchen where we simply painted the cabinets and changed the hardware.
Oh, wow,
and it made the property look way different, right?
Bright.
So this,
the kitchen looks like 8 times bigger.
Right, exactly. So it only cost them a few $1,000s, and this enabled us to sort of attract multiple demographics, right? Because the brown can be seen as a little bit outdated. Then the other one was my client put a few $1,000s into their basement renovation. We also staged it, and that made a huge difference also.
Wow.
So you can see Not bad at all, right? Thank you, guys. My client did a great
Nicely
job.
done, Jayden.
But it's like that probably added at least $30,000 in value to my client's property.
Yeah.
So it's being very strategic and working with a realtor who can show you the small things that you can do to get you the highest ROI on your investment.
I love that. That's fantastic. Now, speaking of a good realtor, you
Yes.
want people to choose, your next kind of big tip for sellers is you want people to not choose a discount realtor. What does that mean?
Yes, so discount realtors are realtors who will lower their commission in order to secure your listing. My issue with that is a lot of these realtors who give you discounts, they're actually removing their investment into your property as opposed to taking less money out the door. So what will happen is maybe they won't include staging or they won't get the best photographer, etc. And our goal is to get the most eyes on your property to get you the highest amount of money. So if they're cutting corners on that front, then you might not get the most amount for your property. So I always recommend working with a realtor who will invest in your property because a lot of sellers, they focus on what they're going to be paying out the door. First of all, you pay the commission after the property sells, but you want to focus on your net proceeds, right? If the realtor invests more money in your property, odds are it'll sell for more. And if a realtor is willing to negotiate their commission with you, imagine, you know, how much they might waiver behind the closed door when it comes to, you know, fighting for the value of your property.
Totally. Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. I never thought of it that way. Jayden, you also wanted to talk about pricing strategically, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so what's that?
So the thing is, so now, you know, we have qualified buyers who might be looking at your property and we're making it be shown in its best light. But if you are overpriced, what's going to happen is you're actually going to miss that entire buyer pool. So you want to make sure that you price according to the market. I'm sure, as you know, during COVID, houses were selling for millions and millions of dollars. And unfortunately, a lot of sellers today are still expecting the amount that their neighbors sold for years ago. So that's where also working with an educated realtor comes in, who will have an honest conversation and not just tell you what you want to hear and say, these are the numbers you're going to have to list for if you want to sell your property. Because stats show that the longer your house is on the market, the lower it sells for. So if you price strategically at the beginning and stage, make your property look its best, you will be successful.
Oh my gosh, Jayden, this is great. Such good tips. Thank you so much, Jayden. That was awesome.
Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.